Hi, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So, this story of this young woman, just turned 20, who went to Dubai, was invited to a party, but got missing for over a week, only for her to be found alongside the road somewhere with her arms, spine, and legs broken in critical condition in the hospital right now, has got a lot of people talking. Let's take a look.
So this story is truly horrifying. How did this young, beautiful 20-year-old woman from Ukraine end up on the side of the road in Dubai with broken arms, legs, and a broken spine? This is Maria Kovalchuk. Like I said, she's Ukrainian, she's an OF model, and she was in Dubai where she told friends she would be attending a party. Now, Maria told two friends that she would be going to a party in Dubai with two men who were part of the modelling kind of world. That party is now believed to have been a porta potty party. Now, this type of party is one where female social influencers, such as OF stars, are paid a huge amount of money to carry out degrading acts. Maria is still alive and has undergone 4 life-saving surgeries and is still in critical condition. The timeline of this case says that on the 9th of March, she was invited to this party, and she did tell her friends she was going with these two men from the modelling industry. On the 11th of March, she was supposed to fly to Thailand from Dubai, but never got her flight. Lawyers have now stepped forward to say that they are warning other girls not to attend these porta potty parties, no matter how much the money is.
Yeah. So in most of the comments under these videos of people sharing this story, I have seen a pattern. A pattern is a lot of people are saying, well, she knows what she signed up for. She's an OF model, she's an S worker, and so on and so forth. So she knows what she signed up for because everybody knows what goes on down at these parties in Dubai. And what they are referring to is the porta potty party. I think back in 2018, 2019, 2020 even, there was this viral videos online, on Twitter, everywhere of these young women who go there and do all sort of things, all right? All sort of things. There are even stories. I think if you go on, is it African Confessions on YouTube? There's this 2 viral stories that I've seen. You can go there where these slay queens from Africa share their own stories of what actually goes down when you go to these said porta potty parties in Dubai. All right. So this is what people are saying in the comments. I'm going to put some of the comments up there so you can read it. However, most of the people that I've seen that made videos about this are saying that people are not showing empathy and are not actually talking about what the problem is, which is the men who lure these young, impressionable women to Dubai, right, to do all sort of things to them and get away with it, right? So let's get into the 2 I've seen, because most of the videos I've seen, they're all saying almost the same thing about how these men should be checked and how Dubai should be arresting most of these guys and so on and so forth. So let's get into that, and then we are going to get into some of the stories.
Okay, I don't know why TikTok immediately muted my post, the other one I posted about this, but we were talking about Maria Kolpashuk, the Ukrainian model that went to Dubai to one of those freaky parties. And a week later, she was found injured near a construction site. Now Maria is in the hospital, the last thing that I heard, even though somebody here posted that she didn't make it, and I can't find any information about that. But I found some information about this type of parties, like the party that she went to, and you can pause and read, because I think if I read it out loud, TikTok's gonna take my post down. But this is what happens in these parties that these women go. And these girls make a lot of money doing that, but wow. It's just absolutely crazy. But the police in Dubai is saying that she probably fell, even though she was found without her ID, without her passport, without her purse, and she had nothing on her. So honestly, I just think they're lying and they're covering up for whoever this important person is that invited her to that party. It was supposed to be a party in a hotel with 2 model agents, these guys that invited her there, and she made it out, but she didn't make it out, I guess, the way she thought was gonna make it out. And to me, I just think this is absolutely appalling that this stuff happens and that men do this stuff to women. They could have just paid her and let her go. I mean, it's not like she's gonna expose who you are, because clearly she's being paid. And it looked like she had been doing that kind of adult services for a while in other countries. It says here that she also had a substance addictions, which could be why she's doing all this. So honestly, I hope she makes it out alive of that hospital and that she leaves this whole profession.
If you've been watching the news, or you've read the news, or maybe you've been on TikTok over the past few days, then you've probably come across the story of Maria Kovalchuk, the 20-year-old Ukrainian model that was found with broken limbs and a broken spine on the side of the road in Dubai, in an area known for human trafficking. Then you've also probably come across videos that have tried to paint her as not a victim, but as somebody that deserved what happened to her. Or you have come across videos that have claimed that she went to a porta party, and as a result of this porta party, she sustained these injuries. However, I just want you guys to remember that these are just rumors. The porta party story is just a rumor. The reality is that right now, the reports that we have is that she went to a party with two businessmen that she said were from a modeling business, or were part of the modeling industry in Dubai, and her friend was also invited to this party, but the friend declined to attend this party. This is the same friend that then reported her missing after she did not turn up, and they were searching for her for 8 days, and they only found her on the 10th day on the side of the road with broken limbs and a broken spine. You also have to remember that the news is telling us that she told her mom that she would sleep over with these businessmen, but go home the next day, and she never turned up, and her family, who are in Ukraine, then reported her missing too, and the police continued to cooperate with them as well as with her friend to try to locate the girl because she was missing. You have to remember, guys, that regardless of what the true story is concerning what happened to this girl, she deserves our empathy, because nobody deserves to have their limbs broken or their spine broken, regardless of why she went to the party. Although you have to remember, the mom said that the party organizers are now claiming that she was never at any party. So until we get an official story from the Dubai police telling us what exactly happened, or at least a story from her herself when she's able to speak, let's not speculate and try to paint her out as somebody that deserved this to happen to them. Nobody deserves this to happen to them. Like, I don't understand why it's so easy for people to look, especially when something happens to a woman and that whatever happened to them is connected to some sexual act, you immediately just lose all empathy and want to blame the woman for what happened. Like, guys, we need to start addressing the fact that these porta parties or whatever happens in Dubai is also committed by men. It's not just the girls that go there. Like, they wouldn't be Instagram models going to Dubai and committing these acts if there was no demand for it in Dubai. Like, what is the Dubai government doing to address these porta parties? What are they doing to put an end to them? That's a question, you know? Like, what is society doing except demonizing these girls for going to these parties and saying, oh, they did it because they're desperate for money? A lot of people are desperate for money, and a lot of people have done bad things for money. Let's be honest. The point is, the only way you could end porta parties is by actually ending the demand for it. And by the only way to end the demand for it is to jail the people that demand for it, or at least expose them. Like, we've seen so many people exposed for going to a porta party and like performing acts at a porta party, but we never actually see the people that demand these porta parties or the people that use these girls being exposed. Instead, we just hear, oh, they were a rich, influential person. They don't face any consequences. The only people that face the consequences are the girls. Important thing I just wanted to say on this matter is, guys, please have some empathy towards this girl. Be kind. She's a human being. She did not deserve what happened to her.
I'm seeing a lot of people talk about that poor Ukrainian model who was found left for dead on the side of a road in Dubai with limbs broken, a broken spine. She's still in recovery. She can't speak. And a lot of people are talking about the fact that she was attending one of those porta potty parties in Dubai, or whatever they're called. And I'm seeing a lot of comments along the lines of, well, she knew what she was getting herself into. And not enough comments about the very wealthy men with more money than sense that are spending money on this sort of thing. Does that not worry you more than one woman's desperate bid for wealth? Does it not concern you that these incredibly wealthy men, incredibly well-connected
wealthy men with their hands in many pockets, with their shoulders brushing with many politicians, people with power who control things like our laws, our businesses, our economy. This is how sick and fucked up they are. Does that not worry you far more? I don't give a fuck that one woman agreed to be shat on for money. Like, who gives a shit? Why are people paying for it? Why are people paying to abuse a human being? It's fucked. That's sick, and it's incredibly common. Like, it's not just some like underground niche thing that's happening like behind closed doors. Like, we all fucking know about it. That's how we all knew what was going on from the get-go.
Yeah, we are not done yet. So now what I'm going to do is get into some of the stories from people who either got invited, or I've heard stories from people and people who actually have kind of experienced it. All right. So let's get into that, and I'm going to come back and talk some more.
Influencers in Dubai and getting your holiday paid for, if that's what you want. I've done it. I was out there with the son of a billionaire. I took off from the Burj Al Arab in a helicopter, toured all around it, stayed in the Burj Al Arab for 2 weeks, and stayed with him. Now, I'm going to tell you how all those influencers do it, how all of them do it. They all get men that are way older than them. Not unnecessarily Arab, they could be white too, but they pay for their whole stay. And we all know how they do it in Dubai. They will stand around the bars, the men will approach them, they'll tell them like, you know, I don't know what it is in dirhams, because girl, I've never, you know, taken money out there, but whatever their price is, and they'll tell the men when they approach them. These women will be from Asia, Europe, and wherever, Africa, and they will then go on and post pictures on Instagram saying that they're having the most amazing holiday. But that night, you can be sure they have to go to bed with Papa Warbucks, who sometimes is 300 pounds to 20 stone, and they have to lie in that bed with him. But it all pays off because you get the view, you get the money, you get everything you want. So it depends what you're willing to do. Obviously, I'm at a stage where that does not appeal to me. But if you do want a holiday to Dubai, there is always one big cow that can give that to you.
So let me tell you, I did some more research on what happens in these parties where rich men pay women to do certain things. And what I found is truly shocking. So I don't know if this stuff is true, but let me tell you. So payments normally start from 30,000 and it can go up to 100k depending on what is done to you. Now this one really scares me. Apparently they hang you from a hook. Like, have you seen that movie Hostel? They hang you with a hook in your back. Like, and apparently for that one I think you can get up to 100k. Really hard, especially on your face, and they want your teeth to completely come out or be broken. You will get 50k for that. They really enjoy that. They will also shave your hair off. That's another thing they do, is shave your hair off. Sometimes there are animals involved. I don't know what actually happens, but animals are involved. I don't really want to know, to be honest.
Give you like $10,000 just to go visit him wherever in Dubai or wherever, and he's willing to dash you $10,000. $10,000, some people have never seen $10,000 in their life, man. You just need to look pretty and get $10,000 and be on that flight and go and do what you have to do. I always feel like it has to be something that is unique, because it's crazy things you're asked to do. Like, I don't want to go deep. I don't want to go into details about that because it freaks me out. I don't want to scare people. But the young girls need to know there is nothing for nothing. You want $1 million bucks, you will do something that is worth $1 million bucks. You want $5,000, you're going to do something that is worth $5,000.
For me personally, yeah, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they may be aware of it, they know what they are signing up for. But with everything I've seen online when it comes to these rich men, I feel like you'll never know. You never know what they get up to. Most of them are sick. individuals, right, who abuse their money and their power, right? And it could be that this lady was told something else, because there was something I saw in the comments, and somebody was saying they are asked to sign an NDA or something like that. And it could be true. They could go through some things, they could read something. But then what happens when you have gone there and you are in the process, like you are in the thick of things, only for you to find out that is something else? Because that could also happen, all right? It could be that she was actually invited to a party. Yes, she's an OF model. It could be that she was invited. It could be that she had an idea of what she was getting herself into, but then things went left very quickly. Because if I have not learned anything on this internet street since I started doing this, is most of these rich men will push. Let's just say she knew that she was going to go there to get maybe shot on for money, or she's going to be sleeping with X amount of people for money. She didn't know that they were going to push the bar to something else. She got there and then they were like, yeah, this is not what you're going to do. But I thought, no, but now they have your passport, they have your IDs, they have everything. What are you going to do? Nothing. You can't do anything. And one of the ladies were talking about them finding substance in her system. And I'm like, yeah, that could be their big cover up. All right. That could be their big cover up. First, she's an OF model. Everybody's already criticizing her online. Number two, they add drugs to it to justify their actions because they are hypocrites. And also, let's not forget that just because she's an OF model could make her a target, okay? Maybe she didn't go there to go and do this Potter party nonsense, right? Maybe she accidentally got into it because she thought it was something else. Maybe she was lured in there with maybe brand deals or contracts or something like that. And then she ended up there and then she got trapped. It could be anything. I just wish that she wakes up and she tells her side of the story if they'll let her. And if she's still in Dubai, if she's still hospitalized in Dubai and these supposed rich men don't want this story to come out, I can only hope and pray. I can only hope and pray. Do you understand? I've seen a lot of movies and I've heard a lot of stories and so many things are going on in my mind, all right? So let's push this whole narrative about she being an OF model. It could be that she went there because she wants to be an influencer and these guys lured her to that place with promises, that they're going to probably give her a contract or something. She ended up there. Oh, we're having a party here. Come. She went there and then everything went somewhere. Someone could have dragged her, carried her somewhere to some people. I'm just imagining all the scenarios that could happen. But with all that being said, these things are happening and Dubai is that place, okay? Because in spite of all their luxury, fancy, whatever, Dubai is that place. Somebody was saying it's not just Arabic men, but white men, men from all around the world can come there and do that because they know they can get away with it. All right, and that is Dubai. If you are going to go there to do these things, or anybody calls you for whatever reason, whether it's a contract, whether it's for you, make sure you know the details of these things before you go there. Me, I would say don't go because at this point in time, it's not just about sleeping with multitude amount of men or dogs or being shut on or being forced to eat shit. I'm not being judgmental. It is what it is. If that's what you're into, then that's what you're into. But then with these particular story coming up, all I can imagine is all the other stories that never got to make it to the news. All the other bodies that have been thrown in the ocean, all the other women who are being imprisoned somewhere, tortured and used every day. I can only imagine. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this video. All right, forget about the Potter party. Oh, these women go there, they go and sleep with the dogs and cows and shit and eat shit and come back and buy Birkins and be acting like, they are big girls and get BBLs and so on and so forth. Forget about it because at this point in time, it's getting to the next level. And they will go to the next level and the next level because they get bored, because they are sick, because they know that they have the power to do that. All right, so be very, very careful. I don't want to stand on a moral ground and be like, oh, be content with what you have, be this, be that. Hey, whatever you want to do in your life, it is up to you. I'm not here to judge you for it, but I'm saying that, people are getting missing, people's bodies are being found in the ocean, and so on and so forth. People are coming back with diseases. All right. So be very careful, be mindful. Don't say you didn't get anybody to tell you this is why I'm posting this video. All right. Don't say nobody was there to tell me. I didn't get any heads up. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was too young. You could end up in a worse situation than this, or you could end up losing your life or not being found. That's all I'm saying. So be very careful. All right. Open your eyes. Not everything that glitters is gold. Okay. And be safe out there. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Leave your own thoughts and opinions in the comments, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.